Hello, this is Mary James with Passive House Accelerator. Thanks for tuning in to this special bonus episode of the Passive House podcast, recorded live at the Passive House Canada Conference in Victoria, British Columbia. I'm sitting here with Chris Ballard, who's the Executive Director of Passive House Canada. And did I get your title right?
Close enough.
Okay.
Yeah, CEO, Executive Director.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all the same.
And it's been an amazing conference. I have to say, I was just, all the sessions I've been to have been so interesting, which doesn't always happen. And it must have been quite an effort on your staff's part putting together these presentations.
Well, we get to, it has been. I have to really give full credit to our staff. We don't have a dedicated conference coordinator. We all jump in. We designate someone as the leader. This time it was Jessica Weber who took the lead to put the conference together, but all staff have been involved. And programming has been really pulled together by Chris Petit, but also a committee of volunteers, of Passive House practitioners by our chair, Deborah Byrne. We've had great input from across the country, and I think that's what makes us so powerful. I think we're seeing an interesting transition or growth of the Passive House world. In the 4.5 years I've been CEO at Passive House Canada, in the early days, we were really focused on technical how to tape a window, how to design this, how to design that. And we still do a lot of that at these conferences, a lot of that type of technical, but people are really hungering. Our members are really hungering for more details, more information at a higher level. So, we have about financing Passive House or high performance buildings now. Some really complex things are being discussed here, and our members have told us that they want more of this because they're doing more of these types of projects. So they drive the agenda. We're happy to put it on for them.
And it certainly is the case that for instance, the session you just moderated, I just attended, was really interesting, novel project type, which, and that's been a highlight of the conference for me, right, that there's been all these novel building types and project approaches being discussed.
I think part of what we like to do in these conferences is not just answer questions that our members are posing to us, some of these complex questions around finance or, mass timber, whatever. We also like to challenge our members to think outside of their Passive House box, we'll say. So we had Bill Reid in, for example, as our keynote speaker to talk about regenerative design, regenerative building. The workshop he did later in the afternoon probably is the single largest attended conference event I've seen in all my years with Passive House. Well over 100 people sat with him for 3 more hours to learn more about what he's talking about. And that's really outside of the Passive House box. But it really speaks to the spirit of what Passive House is all about, building better communities. So we do that, and the conference the event we just sat in on about, well, I won't get into it, but your listeners can see it online if because all of our conference sessions are posted to Passive House website, or will be in the coming weeks, so that we can spread this information around. But we like to challenge our members, and they like to be challenged.
And your membership is growing. You had some great statistics at the beginning of the conference. Do you want to?
Well, as I said, we always focus on things that aren't working properly. As CEO, that's what I'm always concerned about: financing and membership, and I focus too much on what's not working right. But I took some time to look back at my 4.5 years with Passive House Canada, and we had roughly 400 members when I joined, and we're now well over 2,300. We used to have, I think when I joined, we had 1,200 people subscribed to our newsletter, and it's closing in on 14,000 subscribers now. We've got a marketing and government relations database of well over 20,000 people who've given us permission and asked us to contact them when we need help influencing government policy. So there's been great growth, and we're just getting started.
And can you just give us a little bit of a hint at what your goals for the rest of 2024 are?
Continued growth. We're spending a lot of time. There's a few in two big areas, right? Education. We're looking at new education programs that are sort of outside the traditional Passive House how-to box. Once again, like this conference, our members want more information in areas that aren't just Passive House. It's sort of Passive House and beyond. So we're looking to develop some new education courses that feed into that, whether it be around embodied carbon, around finance, around regenerative design. We hope to be able to bring those to the Canadian marketplace in the near future. We're continuing to push on government relations and on lobbying government. So I'd rather say educating governments to really move on better building standards, better performance standards. That takes a long time, but we have had some real successes with moving major cities ahead. Most likely lately, the city of Mississauga, multi-million-dollar inhabitant city of Mississauga has adopted their version of the Toronto Green Building Standard. Whitby, Ontario, another city with millions of people, has adopted a very high level standard. So Passive House is slowly making its way across the country, and we'll keep knocking on doors and educating anyone who'll give us 5 minutes.
Well, thank you so much for giving me 5 minutes. I really appreciate your time. It's, as I said, been such an exciting event. And, I can't remember now what city it was, but it's part of the Greater Toronto area.
Oh, Hamilton, yes.
No, there was another city where Passive House was required for larger buildings.
Right.
Great. It's so exciting to...
It makes sense, and as the development industry understands that it's an economic advantage to build to the Passive House standard, as the lending agencies understand that it's to their advantage to lend to Passive House projects, it's getting easier and easier to do that. Quite frankly. Absolutely. The insurance industry and anyone concerned about climate change adaptation, not just mitigation, is really getting on board. So my favorite saying is that nothing happens until it all happens at once. I think we're in the beginning of it's all happening at once because the interest is coming everywhere. And I will say one more thing. I think that the Passive House movement writ large across North America especially wouldn't be advancing the way it is without the support of the Passive House Accelerator. I can't make all of your online events, but I track everything that you're doing. It seems exhausting, but you guys are just there plugging away in the background and the foreground, and it really helps.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for being here today.